Hey, hi friends, this is Nitish, founder of StockMock. Welcome to yet another episode of our podcast series where our guests share their experience and their learnings with us so that we guys can learn from them and help that things can help us in our trading journey. Today with us, we have Anand, who is popularly known as conservative trader. Now, I'm sure you must all know him already. He is very vocal on Twitter. He has opinion on more or less everything because of his wide range of experiences, and he is kind enough to accept our invite today to share his learnings because he has been in this market for over 15 years now. So I'm sure he has so much to offer for us. So please allow me to welcome Anand. Hey Anand, how are you, bro?
Hi Nitish, how are you? And it's such a pleasure that you have invited me, and I feel so happy because I remember long back during first wave of Corona when you had Corona, I had invited you in my podcast, and we had a two hour podcast on your journey, and it was like so thrilling, the entire startup, the way you conceptualized it, and the way you have made it such a big baby. So, like, I'm amazed to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I still remember that. Actually, in those times, I was feeling like what to do, and then you gave me an opportunity to come and speak. So that was like a best thing for me to spend time on this. So, Anand, we'll start with your trading journey, but I'll confess something. Uh, this session will be mostly about knowing how to be in this market for long period of time. Because as per my understanding, many people don't sustain in this market for very long period of time. They come, they earn money, they lose trust in this market, and they go away. So I want to keep the theme of this session like how to be in this market for very long period of time. What are the things that we should do, what are the things that we should avoid, and eventually we sustain in this market. So, firstly, if you can start with your trading journey of 15 years, what are the goods, what are the bads, what are all other things that you have learned during this phase?
Not only see, the thing is, I believe that learning a strategy or learning an instrument, how it behaves, and technical analysis, etc. Anybody can learn in 6 months to 9 months. But the trading psychology which is there, it comes with experience. And when I say experience, not only trading experience, life experiences. That's why it takes a lot of time for a lot of people. I mean, some people are really sharp. They can learn everything from somebody else's experience in 6 months or 9 months. But it took me a lot of time. I'll take you back to my class ninth and 10th. Like, this was like more than 15 years, definitely. So I was in a hostel and I started playing lottery. During those times, every state government had allowed lottery, and we had Sikkim Manipal lottery or Darjeeling lottery. Various kinds of lotteries were there. And I was playing lottery, and mostly, in lottery also there is a lot of technical analysis, which number is going to come, and people track for like 50 days, 100 days, 200 days, and so on. And I was a novice, and I kept borrowing money. I didn't have any earning source, obviously, and I kept borrowing money from my parents for various pretexts, and from my friends and relatives, and I was losing continuously. And it was like small sum, 10 rupees per lottery, but every day kind of I was losing because I was trying to make it big. And the feeling was miserable. It was like I couldn't sleep at night, and I used to pray to God that God, just make me break even, and I'll quit lottery forever. That was my promise to God. And that feeling was miserable, that how can I lose every single day. And those were like, if even if one number is correct, you will get 1:10. The ratio, the trade was 1:10, but obviously the probability is in the favor of the lottery maker, so it will not come, the number will not come so easily.
Okay.
And one fine day, I remember, I just hit a number correct, and I got a decent sum, and I almost made a break even. And
Oh,
then I quit lottery forever. Okay.
wow.
And I was like 14-year-old, I guess. I quit lottery forever. two things which got etched in my mind because of that experience is never ever borrow and trade. Okay, that I
Okay.
have not done till yet. I mean, I have never managed anybody else's money as well. You would see a lot of people managing other people's money so wonderfully. I can't even believe. Even I have given my money to a lot of people to manage, but I have never managed anybody else's money because of that experience. I don't want that sleepless night again. That I have borrowed or created leverage by taking money from somebody else and then I'm losing. That's one. And second is what was the major learning was that no matter what endeavor you're doing, whether it is lottery or investing or trading, I learned as a 14-year-old that stop loss is very important. You can't just keep doubling down. And if you're losing, just quit it. Just take a stop and quit it, because it'll save you a lot of misery, months and years of misery, which go that sometimes it doesn't work out. A trade doesn't work out, or a life decision doesn't work out. So you have to take a stop loss. So that's how I quit lottery. That was the beginning of my exposure to. See, I believe that every financial instrument, be it investing, Warren Buffett, coffee can, or your momentum investing, or trading, 5 minute time frame, 1 minute time frame, or even daily time frame, everything is gambling. And I'm giving you a very contra view.
Okay.
And when I'm saying gambling, it doesn't mean that you have to lose like a gambler. It's a game of probability. You take a decision, it's a bet, and that bet has a stop loss, it has a risk, it has a loss, possibility of loss involved, and the possibility of a profit involved. You keep doing that shit again and again, again and again. If your method has some merit, then probably you'll make money after a series of large numbers. That's what my understanding of the market is. Any instrument. Okay. And so after that incident, I had a couple of more brushes with stock market again, but I couldn't take it seriously because I didn't have money. Okay. And so here I want to tell everyone who is young, if you don't have money, just don't stop learning about the market, or just don't stop looking at the market because you don't have the money. First learning which was there, it was very important, is that don't borrow. If you don't have money, don't borrow, but don't stop learning. Okay. That's very important learning. I want to tell anyone who is 20, 21, or just keep learning. Even if you have small amount of money, bet very small from that kitty itself, and keep learning. So I did not do that actually. So by the time I graduated, as I didn't have money, I lost interest, and I was doing a little bit of IPO or a little bit of, you know, cash stock buying, and not a method, not a this thing, but like uh, you can say 2005 or so, yeah, 2005 or 4. I started looking at it more seriously as a career option.
Okay.
But trading has a very bad name, so then my my parents, everybody discouraged me to become a trader and so on. And I was struggling because I'm a very when it comes to family pressure or social pressure, I'll be very honest, I'm a very sensitive guy.
Okay.
So I didn't want to do anything which will be questioned a lot later on. And obviously these things have a huge risk involved. Luckily, I I started working in a financial institution on a trading floor. I started with on a sales desk. I worked 9 years on a sales desk, but on the side I was trading my own capital, trying to grow my own capital. And initially, equities were not allowed because of the sales desk on which I was involved in insider trading laws and so on. So I was trading in commodities. First 5 years, I traded only commodities,
Okay.
and that too only positional, because intraday I didn't have time. So only positional trades I used to take. And after 5 years, then for, you can say, last 10 years, I'm active in almost all markets, including equity, FNO, currencies, and so on, and commodities as well.
Nice.
So this is the short journey. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Wow. So it's a great learning for me. And the first takeaway that I can see directly is don't borrow the money. I think, as Nitin Kamath says, when you borrow the money, there is an obligations involved on the table. And when you start losing someone else's money, you start to have sleepless nights and you start to take some irrational decisions, right? And I think that's first mistake that you did in a very early age of at last ninth when you're doing lottery. You not repeated that mistake when, and it was a crucial lesson for you, correct?
Yeah, I mean, see, when you borrow money and trade, your psychology becomes totally different. Even a 10-point loss will make you sleepless. Your own money, you are not answerable. I mean, you are not ashamed to lose actually. And I'm saying in a very crude way that if you lose, 20%, 30%, I have seen drawdown of 20, 30, 40% as well on my entire net worth. But I don't feel ashamed. I don't have to tell anyone, right?
Right.
uh, and if your conviction is right, if your confidence is there, even if your luck is there, you will make it back.
Yes.
But when you have borrowed, people will definitely start questioning you, and you'll not be able to be calm and composed, which is a prime requirement for trading.
Being calm and composed is actually the prime requirement, because when you're in the drawdown and you start to take some irrational decisions, you blow your account rather more frequently.
Yeah,
But
that's it. I mean, I have never blown my account ever in my life,
oh,
but
nice.
yeah, and that's probably because of the fact that I take very small bets, very very small bets.
Actually, your name is also conservative. Is it come from the same place, conservative trader, that you don't
Yeah, I mean,
take
I
bets?
just wanted to convey with my name handle the kind of philosophy that I
Sure.
follow, or I advise people to follow is, I mean, people talk about 1% risk, 2% risk. If I'm trying something new, my risk would be around 0.1 or 0.2%. Let's say, on StockMock, I try a new idea and I want to see how it will pan out in real trading or something. I'll not start with full capital, no matter what is the lucrative result or expectancy, or drawdown to max drawdown to return ratio. I'll not start with full capital. I'll start very very small. That's the conservative nature I have. And I make sure that, on any given strategy or any instrument or in any given day, I don't lose as much capital for me to lose my peace of mind or my calmness. So and on our trading floor, there is a saying that a good trader is not someone who makes a lot of money and takes big bets or something. A good trader is someone, at the end of the day, if you're talking to him and if you can't make out whether he made a profit or loss, he's a really good trader.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I mean, assuming that he makes profit at the end of the year, but
Because
on a day-to-day basis, you're talking to him in a canteen or at the end of the year, end of the day, and you're not able to make out whether he made profit or loss,
I
big
see.
profit or big loss. I mean, everybody has big days, right? Then he's a good trader because he's not affected at all, and that's what is the ground requirement for trading.
Wow. So if you're not affected on your day-to-day activities, then you are on the process of becoming a stable and a good trader.
Yeah.
Well, okay, nice. Let's talk about it a little more, because in the same aspect, I want to discuss one thing, Anand. Uh, you might have seen there are a lot of people who are actually joining this journey of trading, but they're quitting very early, and they're actually cursing the market that it's not for me. But there are some things that they're doing basically wrong in their process. So I'll give you some three scenarios. Okay, please address those scenarios for us, for our audience. Let's say I want to join, I want to enter into this trading world. Now I go to social media, I see there are so many people posting M2M screenshots. Now I have no idea about this market, but I feel this is very lucrative market. Why I am spending my time on 9 to 6, 9 to 7 job? Let's go to this market. It's just run for 5 days a week till 3:30. I'm happy, I'll make lots of profit. Point one. Scenario two, I join this market. Somehow I find a strategy which is working. It makes profit in its initial stages, and I feel I've cracked this market. Stage three, my strategy starts to now lose the money, and I now lose the interest in it. And I say, no, this market is wrong, and I start switching this strategy. Now, I'm telling you honestly, this is the process that many people follow, and they eventually, as per me, don't stay in this market for long run. What wrong do you see in this process, and what exactly the process that people should follow?
See, all the newcomers I interact with, some of them come in my DM and I talk to them in various forums and so on. No matter how old they are, I can clearly see their approach to trading or even investing or even IPO is very, very similar to what my approach was to lottery.
Wow. Okay.
I did not start lottery because I loved lottery.
Mm.
I started lottery because I wanted to get rich quick. A guy who is applying in LIC IPO or Paytm IPO, he just wants quick bucks. He just wants to get quick rich. A guy who is doing trading or even doing intraday bank nifty, he just wants to get rich. He doesn't want to understand the nuances, why things are moving like that. He is not curious enough. He just wants to become rich. And with that mentality, it's bound that you will not have patience, because the quick is there in the sentence itself. You want to get rich quick, so you'll not be patient. Okay. And in the market, I have rarely seen anybody making money who is not patient enough. I mean, we talk about long-term investing and Warren Buffett and all that, but I tell you, even if you're an intraday trader, you need a lot of patience. Patience for your setup to unfold, for trade to come to you. Why do people take random trades? Because for them it's lottery. So then comes the disappointment, because ultimately I believe that all these prices can move in a very random fashion for a longer period than we imagine. For 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 year, a strategy might not work. A very good strategy might not work. And it has been, a lot of papers have been written on that fact that the good strategy will just stop working, and then it starts working after some time, and nobody knows the reason. A lot of people, scientists, are trying to find reason. But I'm saying, if a guy is not patient enough and he's not curious enough, then his approach is totally just like lottery, right? So anybody who is starting out now, or last 4 months were bad for a lot of people. So I'll just say one thing, that first you need to be patient. And when I'm saying patient, that doesn't mean you keep doubling down or you keep borrowing. That's what I have already talked about. You don't do that, right? What you need to do is reduce your position size, but be in the game. If it requires for you to there is a nice interview in the Market Wizard. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Market Wizard. There's a guy who used to trade commodities. He said his lot size varies from 1 to 100. So he trades 100 lot when he's doing very well, and when he's doing very bad, he just trades 1 lot.
Okay.
Okay. I'm forgetting. I'll give you the link of that gentleman. Maybe you can put in the description.
Sure.
That's how I also approach it. If a strategy is not working, I'll not quit trading that strategy. I'll reduce the size so much that I'll not even feel its presence on my book. But I'm very curious how it performs today, how it performs tomorrow. Okay, that's one example. There's another example. There was a guy in the pit in US, in the same book, Market Wizard, another different guy, and he was trading in the. He was a market maker in the pit. Okay, in the shout and cry. I think in Chicago Exchange, he was there, and he started making losses, and then he introspected and did whatnot and all, and then he decided he will trade only 1 lot, though he had the capital, but he decided he will trade only 1 lot. And he started trading 1 lot, and all the other market makers, all the other dealers, they were making fun of him. And so much so they, if you talk in Hindi, uska naam hi rakh diya, ek lotiya.
Okay.
That guy who trades only 1 lot, uska naam rakh diya, ek lotiya. He traded 1 lot for 18 months.
Wow.
Though he had made, on 1 lot he made good money, and then he progressed and so on. And then he became capable enough to feature in Market Wizard. Point I'm trying to tell you is, when the market is not favoring you, be more curious, reduce the lot size, but be more active in the market, and market will reward your patience.
Wow.
And second thing, which I would say, is that curiosity angle. Once we are curious, see, nowadays, if you talk about, for example, artificial intelligence or machine learning, how the data is being fed into the computer. I'm not a computer geek, so I'm just telling you my raw understanding of it. Data is being fed in the computer, and computer is making its own rule and trying to improvise as it goes. Like if you talk about Tesla, also they're taking a lot of cars are covering miles, and all the older data is helping make new decisions, right? the biggest machine learning tool in this entire world is our brain. If you keep feeding data to it, it will make its own rule, and you'll come up with something which is so beautiful, which cannot be captured, by any computer. So I believe you keep feeding it data without losing money. This second part is also very important.
Without losing
And
money.
something good will come up. So, and it always, I mean, I'm telling you, I have traded commodities, I have traded bank nifty intraday positional in every fucking in every instrument, or in every kind of trading. There comes a lull period, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, sometimes a year.
Okay.
So yeah,
So, Anand, you have given me a very good insight of this thing, which I call influencing. Generally, we tend to take decisions based upon our influence of who we are around. जैसे आपने एक लौटिया का एग्जांपल दिया, I think all our users should take away this single thing from this podcast as of now, कि अगर हमारी चीज नहीं चल रही, if something is not working for us, let's reduce the position sizing, and let's be more active in the market. Agar if we are doing 10 lots, let's reduce it to 5 lots, 2 lots, 1 lot. Let's stick to the system and let's see till where it goes. Don't get influenced. जैसे if that guy, the guy you are talking about, Anand bhai, अगर वो influence हो जाता अपने आसपास से कि यार एक लौटिया बुला रहे हैं मुझे, let's switch something to address other people. But he was primarily focused on himself and improving his strategy. I think, Anand, you will also agree to this. Today, the influencing thing has increased to a very different level. Like if you go to Twitter, people are trading, people are trolling, people are doing so many things. And I think because of this reason only, people are taking some rough decisions. Do you agree with this? Because if something is not working for us, I'll probably seek help on Twitter that this is not working or something like that. And many people will come and say and troll about it. And you eventually leave it. So the influential part of Twitter or anything else is influencing my decision eventually. Like, what's your take on it?
see, I 100% believe that taking help, good or bad, any kind of help, always helps. It shortens your learning curve. See, you have to smart enough to identify which help is useful for you, which help is not useful. If you're not smart enough, then even a book is not helpful for you, because so many books have been written on the same topic, giving contra views. The book which you will read, and it will say markets are random. There is no rational, there is no predictability in the market. Then there are books which are saying, that you can predict prices. So unless you can filter it out, what will work for you, that smartness you need to have in this world. Twitter or without Twitter, or YouTube or without you. If I want to learn how to make kadai paneer, there'll be like 10,000 videos. I need to be smart enough to find out which video will help me, right? That nobody can teach you. That's the basic of life. That's the common sense. Okay. And on every topic on YouTube, there'll be good videos, there'll be bad videos. You go to the comments and reviews, and you will find out that people who don't know how to make kadai paneer, they're making kadai paneer, right? You can't help it. That's the way the world works. Okay. Now, so but if you want to make kadai paneer, I would strongly recommend, don't start making kadai paneer just by looking at one video. Watch 5-6 videos, look at the comments. Okay, and you need to be smart enough to know which comment is a bot and which comment is a genuine comment. Look at the comments. Oh, I made this kadai paneer and my in-laws were there, and everybody was just kam pad gaya or bahut acha banaya and thank you so much, and things like that. Not one comment. You need to spend time in review as well. Okay, once you figure it out, okay, this video is going to help me, make small quantity when nobody is looking. Make small quantity of kadai paneer, try to eat it, see how it goes. Even if it is a known recipe, when you make it for the very first time, you're bound to make errors. Probably, I don't know, are you a cook? Do you do any cooking, or you have outsourced?
I tried it, I failed.
So for the first time you make, maybe onions become, jal gaya, pyaj jal gaya, ya garam masala dalna bhul gaya. It'll not come out perfect, right? then you make second time, you make third time, then you give it to your someone who is close to you, who can give honest feedback. Then you improvise, and then you invite a large party that come on my birthday, I'm making kadai paneer for 20 people. That's how the world works,
Right. Right.
right? So when it comes to trading as well, if it is not working, you ask 10 people, and don't take first person's advice as gospel truth. Try to filter it out. Try to reason it in yourself, what he's saying, what can be his motives, and so on.
Right.
Then you
Right.
try it on a small volume. Then you try it on a one lot. See it for 6 months. I have never met a trader who is like 70 or 80-year old who has no time. Market is going to be there for another 50 years. Why are you hurrying? Do small lot for 6 months, for 1 year. Do one lot. See, check out your progress. See whether it suits your temperament, how you react in drawdown, and so on. And then once you have that confidence, then you progress to your desired lot, or you can whatever your objective is with trading. Okay. Now coming back to Twitter, particularly now that it's one of my favorite subjects, but I'm going a little off track, so you can stop me. I believe Twitter is reflection of you. It tells you who we are. If I am the troll inside me, अगर कोई बंदा है जो लंगड़ा के जा रहा है और उसको किसी ने पैर से मार दिया और वो गिर गया और मैं उसको हंसता हूँ, देयर आर लॉट ऑफ वीडियोस लाइक दैट, प्रैंक वीडियोस, कि कोई जा रहा है उसको किसी ने गिरा दिया, किसी को धक्का दे दिया, and I laugh at those videos. Then it's about me. I am liking those videos. I'm seeing those videos, right? So if you love people getting trolled, you follow all the trolls, then Twitter is a reflection of your troll behavior. So for you, Twitter is all about trolling, right? If you are like, let's say, a science geek, you just love science, what is black hole and what is galaxies and all that, you'll find those guys, right, who are talking about this stuff. So your feed will be full with science and astronomy and achievements and black holes and whatnot. So what is inside you? The curiosity to know about this universe, the curiosity to know about science, and Twitter is a reflection of that.
Nice.
If you are a trader with a burning desire, a desire in your ass that I have to be the number one trader or the great trader or the top trader, or I have to be in Market Wizard, you'll try to follow such guys, and you have to keep filtering it out because there are a lot of fakes in every business. Even in a highly regulated business like surgery or medicine, there are a lot of fake doctors. You have to keep filtering it out. There is no coaching for that. You have to be smart enough to do that, right? But once you have figured out how to filter it out and you're following only good traders because you want to be a great trader, Twitter will be a reflection of that.
Nice.
You'll see only traders' feeds, right? So it shows you who you are. We tend to blame Twitter. Yeah, Twitter has become very toxic. It has become very negative. Weekend Twitter has become because you're following toxic people. Because negativity is inside you. You're following such guys and they're reflecting your thoughts. And Twitter algo also helps. It shows you what you want to see, what you're going to appreciate. So if you're liking the troll comment, you're retweeting somebody getting harassed, so Twitter will show you that. It's just a reflection. So that's very interesting, actually.
I get that.
So that's why I keep my feed. I'm very, very conscious about my feed. I keep curating my feed all the time. I keep muting people who are going off track than what is my goal. My goal, I have stated, and we need to be very, very honest with ourselves. When we met last time I think it was in more than a year back.
Yes.
I told you that, I am here. I had some 10,000 or 15,000 followers. I am here for more followers. I am here to follow people who will help me in my trading, who will help me in my social media journey, to make money. And I was not making any money through social media then, but I said, I'm not ashamed to admit, I'm not going to lie about it. So it's just a reflection of what we want and what we appreciate. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, that's one way of looking at it. But I have some contra opinion here, which is, if I'm new to the market and if I see somebody having some X followers, let's say more than 10-20,000 followers, my problem as a newbie here will be, I'll take things on the face value. I'll say if somebody is saying 920 is shit, I'll tend to agree with it because there are 200 likes to it. So that initial step of not taking anything on the face value, like not accepting it and not rejecting it on the face value. I think that's the one due diligence. As you said, you have to do your work, and that's the due diligence. If somebody has done, probably then they can figure out whom to follow, what to accept, what not to accept. Don't be a blind follower. Majorly what you're saying is don't be a blind follower, be a student and try to learn from everything. Anand bhai, please tell us that if somebody wants to start their trading journey now, let's say, so what are the things that you would recommend कि आप initial steps ये करो, go to systematic, go to discretionary, study charts, or what are the steps that you will recommend to them?
See, as I always say, trading is less about knowing the market and more about knowing yourself. Okay, it's it's very funny to say, but it's also a discovery about yourself. Okay, what do I mean by that? See, the thing is, people say option selling में पैसा बनता है. People say option selling makes money. Then people say option buying makes money. There are a lot of people who have made money, all the money in futures, in cash, in commodities. A lot of people have made money. So a new guy, where should he start? What should he do? Okay, now first and everybody reacts differently in any given situation. First, he needs to understand how he would react in a situation. Okay, certain things he needs to know before even he starts trading. One is risk reward. Okay. When you take any bet, every bet is like a lottery. There is a risk reward. There is a risk, there is a reward. If you buy an option right now, when Nifty is at 15,850, let's say you buy a call option. So you are betting that it will go up. If it goes up, you will get many fold. If it goes down, so these things you need to know before you start trading. Risk reward. Then comes the probability of profit. If you're buying an option, certainly the probability of profit generally in most of the strategies will be less, even if you're a discretionary trader. Okay. Now, when probability of profit is less, you will have small losses, which can be in a row. So you can have 5, 6, 7, 8 losses in a row. Option selling has high probability of profit. If you test any strategy on StockMock, it will have, if it is option selling, plain vanilla option selling, it will have 60%, 70% win rate, right? So, but most of the wins are small, and losses, whenever it happens like a black swan event, it will be a big loss, right? So a lot of people are not comfortable with one-time big loss. A lot of people are not comfortable with small series of losses, going home sad and disappointed every day. A lot of people are not comfortable. So you need to, and I have seen both, and I'm telling you from real life experience, both kinds of players make money in the market. Option buyer also, option seller also. You need to find out or figure it out which one will suit you. Similarly, a lot of people can't have the discipline of sticking to predefined rules, and myself included. I mean, I have never been a algo trader in true letter and spirit. It's just not there in their nature. They want to just make a guess or whatever. Whether it is good or bad, I'm not getting into it. So whether you are a discretionary trader or more comfortable being a discretionary trader, or you are more comfortable getting driven by hard coded rules, you need to figure it out pretty early before you start putting big money on the line. Okay, so discretionary है कि algo है या ना rule based है, system based है. दूसरा option buying करना है या option selling करना है या futures करना है या cash करना है. You need to figure out these things, and these things have to go along with your personality. Once you have figured it out, then comes finding the right strategy. Then comes the finding, the right mix of strategies, I would say, which will take you ahead to the next level. So you need to experiment a lot with paper trading or with small one lot. Even if you have 10 lakh, 20 lakh or 5 lakh, just do it with one lot. If you're buying option, just buy at the money call or at the money put, small amount, and you lose very, very small, insignificant, just for the learning purpose. That is the biggest tuition fees you can pay to the market, because we learn from the market more than any other seminar, webinar or anything.
True. So
And
eventually,
whatever you, last thing I wanted to say to a newcomer who is new in the market and wants to try out new things, whatever you do, there's a high chance that you will lose most of the money. So if you have 10 lakhs, start with only 2 lakhs and keep 8 lakhs separate. Okay. With 2 lakhs, keep doing for 3 months, 6 months. See if you can make it into 3 lakhs or even 2.5 lakhs. If you can grow it, there is a high chance because you're new, you're learning, you lose probably 1 lakh from it, or all of it maybe. Then you infuse more capital, and again you infuse 2 lakhs only, and then you move ahead. Don't start with the whole capital. The starting with whole capital again goes back to I have to get rich quick. It doesn't work.
true, true,
Yeah.
true. So eventually, what you are saying is kind of a feedback loop. You keep aside a set of capital, let's say 1 lakh, 2 lakhs, and experiment with it and keep it as a tuition fee, and then see what you are doing right with this capital, what you are doing wrong with this capital, and improve upon it. It's kind of a tuition fee that we are paying to the markets every now and then. And
Yeah.
second thing which you have said is, rather than going as a traditional option seller or traditional option buyer, you should know your personality, and why not try out everything? Let's try out option buying. Don't go by anyone's, even if I'm telling you that StockMock is saying option selling is good, do option selling. Why not try option buying? Maybe you will get very comfortable. You say, no, I'm ready to take small losses and I want to take a one big zero hero trade, a kind of a hero trade. So try everything and see what's suiting your need, what's suiting your personality. Maybe you have some other commitments to work and option selling is suiting you better, or maybe you have a habit of watching charts and you can be a better option buyer. So I think it's up to you to figure it out yourself, but try everything, I think. So Anand bhai, you are in this market for a very long period of time. I'll want to ask a very blunt question that I'm sure you must have met a lot of profitable traders. Okay, what are the common traits or the qualities that make somebody a better trader, and what are the common rookie mistakes people do that they become not so profitable trader?
Yeah, that's one of the most interesting questions. And yeah, see, I'll tell you one most common trait in any profitable trader, and that too in a professional world, I would tell you, is that they will always have predetermined stop loss,
Okay.
and most likely it will be in, if it is a very big order, they will be they will keep it with their dealer, or if they're running a small order, then they'll keep it with the broker, or they will put it in the system. So having a predefined stop loss and not fiddling it is a universal thing to look for. If a new guy I watch who is having a very very methodical approach and very disciplined approach to stop loss, I know that he is going to make it big sooner or later. Okay, that's one. Second, very good trade for which I also get mocked a lot on Twitter is, and people fail to understand this, and I laugh at them in my head. I can't laugh at them on Twitter because I don't engage with my trolls. I mean, I give where Nifty is going to open tomorrow, that kind of view. Let's say I had a short position on Friday before closing. I said I had a short position and it opened gap up. Okay, a good trader, a professional trader will immediately change his mind. No ego. I see that things have changed. I'll go long, and it can happen like 4-5 times a day. Traders are being mocked for going wrong in the view, and I'm just laughing at people who are mocking because they have not understood the game only. You are supposed to change your view as quickly as possible when things are not going on your side. And I'm telling you, even traders who are taking like 3 day, 5 day, 10 day kind of a position, if things don't work out in the very first hour, they'll change their view. We are not in the business of astrology. We are not in the business of high accuracy game, right? So that's the second thing. Okay, that change your view without being ashamed. फट से पहला तो स्टॉप लॉस लेना ही है, और दूसरा चेंज योर व्यू. तीसरा जो है जो मैं देखता हूँ, and I talk to a lot of traders just out of curiosity, not what is their strategy but the life philosophy. तीसरा, I'll tell you, traders whom I have met, they give huge importance to, or huge kind of gratitude, you would say, to the element of luck in life and luck in trading. They
Okay.
will never have this feeling, okay, I am invincible. Whatever I'll say, market will move. I know something better than the other people in the market. Never. They will have this feeling, what boss, last year I figured it out, but this year how it will pan out, I don't know. Maybe it will be very good. Maybe it will be just ordinary. Maybe it will be bad. So they're prepared for all the three kinds of outcome because they think all the past victories, there was an element of luck. Okay. That's the third thing. I'll tell you, there were a couple of more things, but I'm forgetting. Uh,
Well, the third thing is more about markets making you more humble, and
yeah,
I think that's one of the key traits that Anand, like I've talked to, like uh, I'm obviously in this business of talking to so many people, and one common trait, if I may also tell, that when you start to feel humble and when you start to put your ego aside and say that even if I'm there in this market for 15 years, but market may surprise me anytime, so I'm ready, I'm willing to fail, I'm willing to take a loss, I'm willing to accept that I'm wrong. I think this is one of the key traits of being a trader and being an entrepreneur as well. I'm just sharing my entrepreneurial side of you, that if I'm willing to take that, yes, I can go wrong and I can learn from that, and I am humble, then this is one of those traits that I've seen in entrepreneurs, good, great entrepreneurs as well, and great traders, which I think see in you as well. So I think this comes with experience, this comes with time, this comes with a thought that it's not something that trading is not something that I'll dig in 2 days and third day I'll become rich. It's a long journey. And I think with trading, you learn some life lessons as well. It's other way around as well. From your life lessons, you implement in trading, and from trading, when you learn, you implement in your life as well. Right?
yeah, it surely makes you a philosopher actually. Because you are heartbroken most of the time. I mean, I see only on Twitter that people are making money every day. It doesn't happen in real life trading. You like out of 10 days, on 5 days you will have losses,
I read
right?
somewhere, Anand, I think you have written it, or I think somebody else has written it. Nitin Kamath says less than 3% people make money more than FT. But on Twitter, we see there are 97% people who are making money every day. 100x more than FT returns.
This is a very interesting discussion. Actually, I have a very different take on it. Okay,
Please share your take.
see, Nitin Kamath is surely wrong. Anybody
Surely?
who is new to wrong.
Yes.
Okay, and I have huge respect for Nitin Kamath, but everybody talks his business. Okay, so without going into the motives and all, because that will be beyond the scope of this discussion, but I'll tell you what, who is a trader, data wise, statistics wise? Anybody having 5,000 rupees in the demat account and taking a cash position and squaring it off same day or the next day is a trader by definition.
Mm.
That data captures, right.
Right, right.
So to become a doctor or to become a CEO, to become an engineer, the entry bar is so high. It's
Correct.
like who anybody who takes bio in class 11th, if we call everybody a doctor, okay,
I
then
see.
saying a doctor who gives good medicine is like less than 0.001%. Because anybody who takes a bio, usko doctor bol rahe. Similarly, anybody having a demat account of 5,000 and few punts is a trader, right? So
Mm,
there he's wrong. That the set of the data is so wrong. Probably he should have tracked people who have made certain amount of number of trades, filter based on कि जिसने 1,000 trades करी होंगी, because most of the people quit pretty early. 10
mm,
12 15 50 trade किया quit. People
mm,
who have done more than 1,000 trades, people who have tried for 6 months to 1 year, their demat account or trading account was very active for 1 year. वैसे
mm.
लोगों का statistics लेना चाहिए था, right? So there he is wrong. I think in my humble view, and I have interacted with so many traders in real life as well, and on through Twitter as well. I'm interacting with you and so on. I can tell you the success rate. Anyone who is new and who is listening, I'm telling you, success rate is pretty high. It's not an easy endeavor, but it is much easier to become a profitable trader than to become a doctor and then to become a surgeon. A lot of doctors who are following me, they're trying to become a trader. That's a separate story. It's easier to become a CA. It's easier than to become a CA. It's easier than to become a good engineer and MBA and so on. It's a profession which requires a lot of discipline and hard work, but it's not more difficult than any other profession. It's unique. If I want to make a career in cricket, I can't make because I don't have that unique talent. Trading requires a unique bend of mind, a very controlled, a lot of control on your psychology, that you will not be affected. Not everybody has it. A lot of high IQ people don't have it. They have this gambling mentality. So it's unique talent plus hard work. But becoming successful is not as rare as it is being projected. Coming back to Twitter, see, everybody is trying to sell something. I am selling something, you are selling something, everybody is selling something. Okay. In my institution, if you go and ask a trader what trades he has taken, did he make profit or not, after the second day, third day, he'll start abusing you. Why would he share that kind of data with you? There's no incentive, right? In real world, nobody shares his trades. Nobody shares his daily P&L. Nobody shares any shit. So whether those are genuine or not, people who are sharing it on a daily basis or on a weekly basis or a monthly basis, they have some kind of motive. They are selling something. Okay. That something can be monetary. It might be, value seeking behavior that, I am a big trader. I have a huge status in the society. The Maslow's need hierarchy theory, but they are selling something and you are buying something. So when a seller is involved and a buyer is involved, then you have to take everything with a pinch of salt. Right. And I'm not saying those MTMs are fake. Maybe somebody is posting MTMs only when they're profitable, and there is no written obligation, right? That they will show MTM when there is a loss. In fact, I have seen a lot of loss MTMs, and those guys get trolled mercilessly when they make a loss. So who would post a loss MTM? Some might be fake, some might be edited, but all I'm saying is in real life, nobody shares MTM or PNL or even. अब कोई एक मारवाड़ी व्यापारी से, you are a Marwadi, right?
No, Punjabi.
You're Gujarati.
Punjabi.
You go to any market in Delhi also. धंधा कैसे चला? क्या बताऊं साहब, ये GST ने मार रखी. भले उसकी 3 ऑडी खड़ी होंगी. Everybody downplays in real life. अरे क्या ये साल तो ऐसा बुरा जा रहा है ना, आप समझो ना, ये सब चाइना का इंपोर्ट आके रखा हुआ है सारा, अब तो सोच रहा हूँ बंद करके कुछ और ही खोलो. इस तरह क्यों बात करेगा?
That's true.
If you go to a second hand car dealer, भाई कैसा जा रहा है ये साल? अरे मार रखी है बंदे ने. ये जब से ओला वाले आए ना, जब से ये कार वाले आए हैं और Cars 24 आए, he might be selling the biggest on Car 24. You ask any taxi driver, he'll say ये ओला उबर बिल्कुल कुछ पैसा नहीं देते हैं ना, but he's making more money than he was earlier 10 years back, right?
Correct.
So people downplay their business. Only on Twitter people don't, because they're selling something.
Right.
Even people who are like certified trolls, they are selling something. So then when somebody is selling something, you have to take everything with a pinch of salt.
Correct. That's right. That's true. And I'll also tell you something. This business is shown very lucrative. क्योंकि मैं आया इस बिजनेस में इसीलिए हूँ कि यार मैं पैसे कमा सकूं. तो अगर मैं दिखा दूं कि यार ये बंदा कमा रहा है, so it's very easy to catch attention. And I think, and this is what I've been told multiple times by some of our somebody, that why don't you start just selling the strategy results, because you will capture more attention rather than educating people, telling them how to do the process, telling them what is MDD, and following the education process. Why not just sell them something? And I think that's the difference between a short-term and long-term approach. With short-term, if I can give them the fish, probably they will eat it for a day or two. But if they know how to teach a fish, get a fish, they can teach somebody, they can be in this market for long run. But I think it's the responsibility lies on both the ends, the receiver ends as well, because they want something quickly, and the giver's end. So ये trading चल रही है ultimately. And I want to ask you something about off-topic things. This is money. What's your relationship with money? How do you perceive it? Like, do you want it more and more and more? And how do you enjoy your money?
See, I'll tell you what I see money as security. Okay,
Okay.
money as means to an end, and I think more than an average person, I think a lot about money. I mean, I have a unique habit, and all my money is in liquid assets, no gold, no property. So everything is there in front of my eyes. And you will laugh at me. Before I go to sleep, I just mentally calculate how much I have in my bank account,
Okay.
as in all broker account, bank account, FDs, mutual fund, whatever, right? Every night. If it is not growing, that's why I'll always take, that CAGR on net worth, not on the trading capital. If it is not growing, I feel anxious.
You
I'll
feel
tell you
what?
what, I feel anxious.
Anxious. Okay.
Yeah. Uh, I'll not give a very long answer, but I'll tell you what. When I came out of college, I came from IIT, right? And I'll not get into the circumstances and all, but I was unemployed. I prepared for civil services and all that. Long story short, I didn't have any money, and I didn't have very good relationship with my family, in the sense I was not borrowing, you know,
Mm-hmm.
freely.
Mm-hmm.
And I was staying in Delhi, in Jia Sarai and in Old Rajendra Nagar. And
Okay.
I had one burning desire to have a lot of money, not to show off, so that I don't have to see this kind of a day again, ever again, where I don't have any money in the bank account. I want to eat a pizza or I want to take a taxi. I remember I went to Gurgaon for something, and over time pe Maruti Omni was there, and I took a shared cab and I was sitting in the dicky, and it was non-AC cab. This same May ka mahina. Okay, the Gurgaon used to be like new Gurgaon, and I'm talking about like 2002 or 2003.
Okay.
There are a lot of you remember those Omnis where they fold the seats and
Yes.
people are sitting in the dicky.
Yes. I know.
अभी तो वो आ गया ना अभी इको आ गया not the eco, the old Omni.
Mm-hmm.
And I had just I remember that day I used to pray that, God, I don't want to see this kind of a day again. So I'll not buy an Audi today, but I'll have a lot of money in the bank so that come what may, I don't have to sit in that Omni again.
Okay.
The security, money is security. Okay, that's one. Second, uh, I mean, again, we are going in a very controversial domain and off topic, but as it relates to money, I think if you are rich enough, you should have more choices in life. Being rich is about having more choices. More choice of food, more choice of restaurants, things like that, or more choice of houses, right? As you become more rich and rich, you have more choices. Whether you exercise those choices or not, that's a separate question. I believe our country, and I love my country. Trust me, I do. Our country, for various reasons, is going towards a point where, for rich class, it will be a little difficult journey. If you have a lot of money, because because of the population, you can say, because of the infrastructure which is bustling on the seams, because of the pollution, because of the political environment, social environment. So any rich person you would see, and I have worked in an institution handling a lot of rich clients, they will have an option of passport as well, or PR.
Correct.
So for money, my one of my goals is also to having that choice, the option, the ability to settle down in any other country with entire family. So I don't like to spend my money because I'm saving for that rainy day when I might migrate to Canada or Australia or to New Zealand,
Mm-hmm.
wherever, forever, getting retired there.
Correct.
And another thing is I don't like. I mean, I'm a car enthusiast. You ask me about any car, I'll tell you the gear technology, I'll tell you the engine, I'll tell you the engine specification. But I don't want to buy an expensive car because I don't want to sit in that Maruti Omni again.
Okay.
I don't want my children to sit in that Omni again.
True.
Yeah.
I see. I can feel a little pain in your voice as well, and when you speak about that incidence of Omnicar, and that's why I think you feel money is kind of a security for you, so that once that rainy day comes in, you are now prepared. You will not let this happen to your family. Uh,
Yeah.
do you also think that before getting the money, one should also have a wisdom to take right decisions? Because I know some people who have lots of money, they have lots of choices as well, but unfortunately don't have wisdom to make, probably as per me, the right choices. They blew money faster. So wisdom, I think, should, like, you have lots of wisdom, as we can see through your tweets while talking with you. But many people just approach money and not growing themselves as a person and having a wisdom to understand things. Like in trading, I should have a wisdom to not blow my account. I should have a wisdom to go wrong. I should have a wisdom to take stop losses. I should have a wisdom to change my opinions. I should have a wisdom to learn from everyone than just money. I think it's beyond money. You should have wisdom. And then when you have money, it's cherry on the top, probably.
Uh, See, I'll not call it wisdom because, as I said, I mean, it's very difficult to, and it's very easy actually to get arrogant about any thought process. If I call it wisdom, then I'm being arrogant that okay, I am the only correct person. I mean, recently last week, one of my colleague, he was 41 year old, and he had a similar thought process as mine, and he died and very fitness freak. Like he used to do cycling 1 to 2 hours, gym and all that. No kind of vices, like no tea, alcohol, nothing, no smoking, nothing. He had a massive heart attack inside the gym, and he died on the spot.
Oh man.
Okay.
Okay.
So I was just discussing with someone I mean, in my office, and he said, "What is the point of earning so much of money when you can't enjoy? Right? We are already getting late. This life is not forever." So a lot of people who have not seen the hardship early on, or maybe if they have seen also, they think that this is it. This is the time. That's point number one. They think that you got to enjoy sometime. Now you have made it in life. Now you got to enjoy. You need to have the best ice cream. Why do have Amul when you can have Baskin Robbins? Why do have Jockey when you can have Gucci and Alvani and all that, right? They want to spend it. That's point number one, because they think that वो होता है ना, दास मलुका कह गए सबके दाता राम, अजगर करे न चाकरी, पंची करे न काम, right? So there is a philosophy fatalist. उसको हिंदी में क्या बोलते हैं? उनको लगता है सब नश्वर है, सब खत्म हो जाना है एक दिन, तो जो है अभी आज में एंजॉय कर लो. Why to worry about tomorrow? That's a very credible philosophy actually.
Okay.
But I mean, my is that I don't want to. What if I stay till 80, 85, 90? I don't want to suffer later on. So I'm willing to sacrifice that Baskin Robbins today. That's point number one. Point number two is I have met a lot of people who have made good money from very poor background. They have made good money. They're working in Google or they're working in Microsoft. They are like printing notes. Okay. Their outlook is completely different from mine. They are enjoying life to the fullest. Why? Because they think they can make it back. Even if they lose everything, they can make it back again. They are so confident in life. I am not. As I said about trading, everybody has to do what it suits them. I think whatever I have today, if I lose it all, touch wood, I might not get it again. I have met a lot of people, and rightly so. They have that charisma, they have that talent, or they have that work ethic that they think that, and you included. I have seen you coding 18 hours a day. And if today, God forbid, somebody takes away StockMock or it gets bought over, whatever, and you have to start a new thing from scratch, you will build it in 2 years. That kind of mindset you have, right? So then the outlook towards money is different. Then you have it today, you enjoy it, and you lose it, you earn it. I don't have that. I don't have that confidence, and at least I am wise enough to know my limitations. So that's why it's different take for different people.
Understood. Yes, it's all about how you approach the life. What's your approach and what's your experiences with the life has been.
Exactly. Yeah.
And Anand, I would want to wind it up by asking you a very philosophical question again. what is the definition of success for you? You can answer in terms of trading, non-trading, or in general life perspective as well.
Uh, See, we often confuse success with happiness. Okay,
Yes,
so being successful doesn't mean being happy.
true.
Okay, so I think success, you can take it two ways. One is what society defines for you. Then, for example, your startup having some kind of milestone or beating that milestone, that will be the success. Second thing is, what you define for yourself. Let's say you define that, I have to start a company which will help all the retail, which will make so much of money, or which will have so many of users getting benefit and all that. You have made those benchmarks. If you beat those benchmarks, that is success. Okay, so it can be as simple as that. And let me tell you that people who are more successful, generally they are not more happy. That correlation study has been done, and in psychologically it has been proven, because to become successful you have to keep striving, and you have to keep striving. You have to, if you keep striving, you will keep failing till you become successful, and every failure will make you unhappy. So it's like taking small losses till you see a home run. So you will be unhappy, like, on the journey. And so that's about it. And for being happy, you have to really introspect how much of success you really want. You can't chase it endlessly. If you really want to be happy, a moderately successful career or moderately successful financial life is important, because it's a mean to other ends.
True.
But if you're chasing it because out of jealousy, or because everybody else is chasing, as it happens in the corporate world, then you'll be perpetually unhappy.
True, right. I was hearing to one of the interviews of Warren Buffett and Bill Gates, and Warren Buffett clearly said it and beautifully quoted it, that have an inner checklist for your success. If your inner checklist is ticked, you don't need to show to others, and you will be eventually happy while being successful. If you have a checklist which is outside for somebody else, you may be successful but not happy. So I think you have also presented in a similar fashion. It was brilliantly talking with you, Anand. I hope we have touched some points that can help our users. And thank you so much for coming. And if any last word you want to say, please.
It was amazing talking to you, and we don't talk so often. I wish you had more time to talk, and and I have benefited a lot from StockMock. As I told you, that I am the highest paid StockMock user, because I keep trying new strategies. Out of just curiosity. I mean, I'm such a curious guy, so I can't thank you enough for having such a platform, which is so useful. Any new idea, I first try on StockMock. So again, I just wanted to thank you on that.
Thank you so much for using the platform. Thank you so much for encouraging it every time, because you message us your ideas and other things without even letting us know. You promote StockMock on various occasions as well. So thank you for making StockMock better through your ideas. Thank you so much, Anand.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. So I hope you all might have enjoyed this conversation. If you do, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel. And also please like and share this with your friends, because Anand has not only shared about trading journey, his life journey as well. So thank you so much. Do take care of yourself. Happy backtesting. Bye-bye.